Charles, calm language and tone there from China's Xi Jinping.
Absolutely. Xi Jinping seeking to present China as a responsible world actor and a responsible world leader, putting forth the fundamental principle of Chinese diplomacy, which is non-interference in other countries' affairs, and also singing the praises of multilateralism, which will obviously vibe well at the United Nations. Xi Jinping saying that disputes between nations need to be resolved via dialogue and cooperation. He also made a number of announcements that were directly aimed at the developing world, saying that China would stop funding and building coal projects overseas, and also proposing a new global development initiative that seeks to promote growth that is both balanced and inclusive in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. He also finally set the goal to distribute 2 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines around the world by the end of the year. This all really aimed at the developing world, which really represents an important block of votes at the United Nations, and China is eager to be some form of representative of that section of the United Nations.
Okay, so a lot of his speech talking about issues of interest, notably to the developing world, but is that who you think he was targeting his speech to?
Well, he was, in a way, offering an alternative model to that, to the developing world, an alternative to an American liberal development model that's been suffering lately, especially in the wake of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and Xi Jinping openly criticizing military intervention and criticizing what he called the imposition of democracy from the outside. And on this issue of democracy, Xi Jinping had an interesting formula here where he explained that democracy is not a right that can be enjoyed by just one specific individual country. It's a right that can be enjoyed by all countries. And this is a sort of a Chinese vision of democracy, which is more a democracy of nations at the UN than a democracy of individuals. And this is an underhanded way of criticizing what he considers to be American hegemony on the international stage. So really here, both Xi Jinping and Joe Biden speeches have underlined the importance of the Sino-American rivalry on the world stage. And the real question here is whether Beijing and Washington are going to be able to work together on issues of common concern, like the fight against global climate change and like the fight against COVID-19.
Okay, Charles.